Well, today is a big day because with 8 games left to go, we have a chance at securing the National League North title, and with that, promotion to the National League. Let's try and not balls it up. How you doing, everyone? Welcome to my career save here on Football Manager 2024. My name is Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, which is part 6 of Club 1 here with Spennymoor Town, in which we are definitely playing Chester at home. And if we win that game, we will have enough of a points gap that we will have confirmed the title in the National League North. We will have confirmed automatic promotion. We will have confirmed our fate as a National League club next season. If we confirm that in the game against Chester, we are going to skip 3 games and we're going to go to the FA Trophy semi-final against Solihull Moors for 2 reasons. Number one, although I don't support them, they're actually my boyhood team. I was born in Solihull, so I kind of like the idea of playing them. And also, it's a semi-final. It feels like it would be rude not to. And if we've already got the league wrapped up, we might as well jump ahead to that. So that is what the plan is today. If we don't win the title against Chester, we'll go to King's Lynn, or rather King's Lynn will come to us, and we'll try and secure it there. And if you're excited to see how we get on with whatever combination of games we have today, then don't forget to leave a big like on there for me, and don't forget to subscribe as well. It is completely free to do so, and you will be able to keep up to date with all of the nonsense that comes out of this face. So, as you can see on the screen, since you were last with us, I actually normally have it on the home screen, but I already had it on the schedule because I forgot to change it. Things have been going well since the game against Darlington and the Forest Green game before that. We've drawn a couple of games, drew against Buxton, drew against Farsley, but other than that, we've actually had a few heavy wins as well. 5-2 here, 5-0 here, 6-2 there. And then the last few before the Farsley game were 3-0, 2-0 and 2-0. So a little run there of clean sheets as well. Glenn Taylor's still scoring goals. Will Harris is getting in on the action as well. We have been rotating a bit. We have had to fend off a bit of a player mutiny. Of all of the reasons, because we don't have a lot of squad depth. I nearly joined them in the meeting and said, you're right, you're absolutely right. We don't have the money to do it. I did promise them I would try and strengthen to that effect. I actually have got a few players here on trial, and some of them look like they would be quite tasty. The problem, of course, is we don't have really the money to do anything with them. We've got £370 in the wage budget. If I can go over that with a view to adjusting it for next season, that would be great, but I don't know. I don't know at all. So, yeah, that's how things are going. Now, on to the matter at hand. We have got the game against Chester, which could secure ourselves as National League North champions. And this is going to be the 11 that we are going with. Now, important to bear in mind, we are missing one of our most effective players in Carlos Richards. He is on international duty with Gibraltar. This is the only problem with him being a Gibraltar international. He has been sensational for us this year, but he will not be available. But Ben El Mahani has been stepping up, as you can see. 18 goal contributions so in this season is a pretty good return for someone who's been a little bit hit or miss. So I'm not too worried about the fact that we're having to play him. But this is going to be the 11. This is going to be Mitchell in goal, Ledger, Yarni, Beals and McGinley in defence, Dolan and Tolson in the middle with Lennon, Fletcher and Ben El Mahani supporting Taylor up front. I do want to quickly mention up here, Mitchell is keeping his options open. Remember, a lot of these players are out of contracts at the end of the season. Almost the entire squad, in fact. We've got 4 players who are signed on for next season. That is a massive, massive problem. One that we need to try and sort out. Now, once we get our budgets for next season, I'll be happier because we haven't got those yet. Once we get those and we can start wheeling and dealing a little bit, I'd like to think we'll get a budget increase, especially if we secure promotion now. I imagine we'll hopefully get that after this game. But then we can go mad and start offering contracts to everyone who we want to keep. But yeah, at the moment we've got 4 players at the bottom here, all of whom, to be fair, are going to be players involved with the first team next season. But still, it's not very many, is it? It's a bit of a problem. Right. See, one step at a time. Let's actually get promoted before we can worry about that. That feels like the smartest thing to do. We should be winning this game. Chester are a kind of upper mid-table team. I can't remember exactly where they are, but I want to say they're about 8th or something like that. We have got more than enough to beat them, but That's on our day. Whether we actually show up on our day here today or not is another matter. But let's see whether we can, shall we? 9th. I was very close with Chester. Very close indeed. Right. Let's get underway. They're playing the Diamonds. We are very familiar with the Diamonds on this channel, but we will see whether we can hopefully make sure that that Diamond does not cut us very severely. Because, you know, Diamonds are sharp. I was trying to be clever, alright? I know it wasn't that clever. Ignore me. Ignore me completely. Right. We have had no highlights so far, but we are on top of the game, which is good, but I would quite like to see a goal. Right, Ben El Mahani whipping it in. Looking for the header, Yanni. Dolan was lurking there at the far post. I thought he might be able to get onto it. Maybe he just wasn't alert enough for that. Again, he's not that good a player. We do have to bear in mind as well, Tolson, who has been a regular in this team since we lost... well, he's dead to me, so I've forgotten his name. The other midfielder. He has been a regular in this team, even though he's not been very good. We will be losing him this season. He'll be going back to his parent club. So we then need to look at the players like, well, all of the loan players and see what we do with that. That is not a great start, if I'm honest. That's a really bad start. Spennymoor 0, Chester 1. And we might not get in that FA Trophy game in this episode. It's poor. That's really, really poor. Typical FM job, that. Right, I'm going to demand more from the boys. That is very, very poor from us. We've been going at them, having shots that have done absolutely nothing, and then we just let them walk into the goal. But again, it's a big game. And what does our squad not like? Big games. So, is it any wonder we might bottle this? Right, Lennon, Ledger, into Fletcher, pass, gets it through to Lennon again. Lennon with the goal to make it 1-1. His 10th of the season. Isaac Fletcher with the assist, and we do equalise. I did look at the points total, and then before I had the team meeting that comes up when you can win the title, I did actually work out this game mathematically would be the game that if we win it, we can't lose the title anymore. I can't remember what a draw does. I cannot remember for the life of me what a draw does. And, I mean, just looking at it now, we'll be 19 points... No, we'll be 20 points ahead now. So, 20 points ahead with 6 games remaining. So, we will win the title with a draw here, actually. A draw is enough, because there'll be 18 points left to play for. So, we still have the opportunity to win the title here, even if we don't win. I'm going to tell those two they need to step things up. McGinley and Yanni, I'm going to tell they need to step things up. And then I'm going to leave everyone else. So I'm going to have a word with the keeper, actually. Keeper's not been good. I've stressed the keeper out. It's probably not a great thing. I'm actually going to go attacking. I want us to win this here. I don't want to win it with a draw. I want to win it with an actual win. So let's do it. Fire the boys up. Let's get 3 points to just put it completely to bed and leave no questions at all. We've been all over them. We've only had the 1 shot on target, though, which, considering we've got Taylor up front, is a bit disappointing. I haven't been messing about with him as a target forward. I'm going to change him to a target forward just to see whether we can get a bit more out of him today, because Taylor has been a little bit anonymous in this one. We are in the substitution window as well, so let's make some change. In fact, I'm going to take Taylor off for Harris, and injury to Lennon is not good. Ben El Mahani is going to have to go on the right-hand side, even though he doesn't like it. We have to bring Beckett on, which is not really something I want to do, but we'll have to do it. I'm going to save the final substitution for now, but it's going to be a midfield change, I think, because the midfielders are not doing very well. Right, fire the boys up. All over them today, but we just are struggling to get past them. I mean, if we end up winning this title with a draw, it's not the end of the world. I'm okay with it. We still deserve it, but I would quite like to celebrate the title with a win rather than a tie. Right, Beckett, who we signed knowing he wasn't the best. He hasn't had the best of seasons. And if he can do something here, it'd be great. He has been part of this move, and Harris just heads it over. So unlucky there. Great opportunity. Right, final change. It is going to be Tolson who's going to come off. Callum Ross will come on. And we'll just see if he can help just with a bit of bite in the middle. But again, I'm pretty sure mathematically, if the scores stay the same, it will be a title for us to lift. Not been a good game. We've been really wasteful. But it doesn't matter. Our first trophy as a manager in this save. And it is the National League North at the first time of asking. We get promoted with a league title win. And I feel like we can relax a little bit now. I don't know who that's going to be lifting the trophy. I know that Taylor's our captain. I don't know if that's him. It's probably not. But who cares? Trophy lifted. Confetti from the sky. The gods are pleased. Job done. Job number 1 done. Now we just need to do it again next season, hopefully. I mean, back-to-back promotions. I've done it before, but I don't know with this team. It depends how much of it we can keep together and how much of it we can improve on and how much money we'll have to do that. Hopefully we're going to find out that now when we go through the game. A really, really poor game from us. Possession was definitely the issue in the game for us. But we had the chances, we had the shots. We just weren't giving ourselves, obviously, opportunities where we could get the ball on target. Well, at least that's how I'm reading it as. But it wasn't a very good game from us at all. Wasn't a good game from them either. So, yeah. I'll say that one. But it wasn't a great game. Bit disappointed in it, really, actually, considering the form that we've been in. It's 2 draws on the bounce. Right, initial budget. So, we've got... That's good. That's good. Wage budget shot up. Hello. Right, we can renew contracts now. And we've now got an actual wage budget. Our actual transfer budget as well. So now we can start making some transfers, which is really interesting. That's... Okay. Okay. I'm feeling more confident about next season now. That is more than I was expecting from when we got here, because we had nothing. Like 10 grand or something like that. Original budget was 123k. That's obviously from this season. That wage budget is sensational. Right, okay, cool. Right, I'm not going to dwell on that too much. I am going to go away. I'm going to have a look at some transfers. But the main thing is I'm going to get through these games. Because as I said, now we've won the title, we don't care about any of the other league games. They don't matter anymore in the grand scheme of things. Sorry, Kingsley and Hereford, Leamington, Scunthorpe, Warrington and Alfreton. We don't really care about any of you anymore. Who we care about is Solihull Moors in the semi-final. And then we care about the other side of the draw, because the other side is National League North versus National League South. If we can do what we've done against every other National League team and beat Solihull Moors, we'll do it to a final with a National League North or South team. We've got a real chance at winning another trophy here. See whether we can do it. So I was bringing you back before the next game. We're only at the Hereford game, so we've still got a couple of games left to go. Border asked if I want to sign a new contract, because remember, we only signed a 12-month deal. We are due to be unemployed at some point very, very soon. But they are asking if we want to sign a new deal. So let's have a look and see what they want us to do. We absolutely do want to sign a new contract. We don't want to be unemployed. How long it will be for us to get that new contract, I don't know. It's not going to be before the Hereford game. Now, I forgot that in non-league, there is no transfer window up until, like, really, really late on. So, I think a couple of days ago, we had the transfer window closed, which means the idea of getting new players in kind of been put a little bit on the back burner. But I did squeeze one through with the money that we've got. We've still got a decent amount of money left. But I did sign in a brand new player, and that player's name is Harrison Burke. He's coming from Chester, who are in our league as well. 22 years old, centre-back who can play as a defensive midfielder. We desperately need defensive midfielders. I had to agree to him being a centre-back first, but we can use him as a defensive midfielder probably from the start of next season. But he's here at the club now. He is usable. So he will be a new player just to get us over the line, hopefully, for the last couple of games of the season. And he'll already be here for the start of next season for the National League. Yes, he's a National League North player. However, he has got the ability to be a top player at this level and also to get better and to be a National League central defender in the future. So we know he's going to be good enough in that league. And we know when we've played against the National League teams, we know we're good enough to beat National League teams already. So he will just improve things. So that's a lovely thing. Right, I'm going to go away. I'm going to get the games sorted that we need to do. We've got a couple of games left. This game against Hereford and then against Leamington. We actually drew against Kings Lynn, which was disappointing. Very disappointing. I just realised we've signed in from Chester, who we drew against to win the league, which is quite funny. Play those 2 games, then we'll be back for Solihull Moors. Fingers crossed we can come away with a cheeky final to play after. Okay, we have the contract offer. Now, looking at what we are currently on, we're on £750 a week. We have that lovely house, of course. Was it a house? I can't remember. I think it was a house that we looked at. Either way, we are renting some. Well, not renting somewhere. We bought a place, and we have the ability to buy more things now. So let's have a look. So the budgets aren't going to change, but they're offering us £100 more a week, which I'm not overly unhappy about. So let's have a quick check and see how long for. Only for another season. Only for another season. I would kind of like it, if I'm honest, to be a 2-year contract. I would like it to be a 2-year contract. Let's see if they go for a 2-year. They only want 1 year. I mean, we're going to take it, but, I mean, they're very reluctant, despite the fact that we've nearly got promotion. Oh, no, they've taken it. Okay, never mind. All we had to do was offer it again. Okay, sweet. 2-year contract. Done. We don't need to worry about... I wasn't really thinking about employment for the following year, actually, but I'm kind of glad that we've got that sorted, because it means we don't need to worry about anything unless anything goes badly wrong. If we'd have got to the end of the season and they hadn't offered us the new contract, that would have been a bit awkward, because we'd have been out of a job, having got them promoted, and then we need to find another club probably to do it all again, which would be really, really annoying. But hey-ho, that is done. Right, we've got the Leamington game left. We actually drew. We've drawn 4 in a row, which is a bit weird. I'm not overly happy about it, but it is what it is. It is like we've just switched off. We've got Leamington next. Hopefully we can get 3 points on that just to get us back in winning ways before the game against Solihull Moors. Now, Solihull Moors are currently 13th. They're mid-table in the National League. We've beaten teams much better than Solihull Moors, and we should be absolutely bossing them. But we probably won't. Let me see how we do, and we'll get to that game, and hopefully we won't completely stuff it up. We are back for the FA Trophy semi-final against Solihull Moors. And this is our chance at another... Well, it's our chance of getting to the final to have an opportunity at another piece of silverware. And this is the 11 we're going to be using to try and do it. It is going to be Mitchell in goal, Ledger, Yarney, Beals and McGinley in defence, Ross and Dolan in the middle, with Lennon, Fletcher and Ben El Mahani. I couldn't even call him Ben Mahani. Ben El Mahani. Either way, whatever his name is, he's part of the 3 that's supporting Taylor up front. I'll get it right in a minute. And we're going to be without our new defender who started really well, Harrison Burke. He is actually cup-tied, so we won't be able to play in this game, and Tolson is suspended as well. Other than that, we're completely fully fit. Semi-final o'clock. Let's see whether we can go and get ourselves into a nice cheeky final. That'd be perfect. Again, Solihull Moors are having a meandering season. They are very much mid-table, so we know we've beaten teams who have been above them in the league, in the National League, so we know we can do it. It's just a matter of can we do it at this point in the season. We're in Solihull, we're at their place. That's going to be the challenges that it's away from home, but we're still going to do our best to see whether we can get ourselves a win to a cup final while I'm stifling a yawn. Apologies, I've been kind of doing stuff all day, and I think it's catching up with me just a little bit. But we'll see whether we can get something from this game. Momentum-wise, at the moment, is all in Solihull's favour. They've had the only chance of the game so far, but we are starting to get our way back into it with a bit of momentum now. So we just need to keep pushing at that. We have a free kick. Fletcher looking for Dolan, can't find him. And the ball ends up with Solihull and they come forward. National League North Player of the Season, by the way. We've got 4 players on the shortlist. We've got McGinley, we've got Ledger, of all people. We've got Lennon, and we've also got Glenn Taylor. But Charlie Lennon has just gone and put us ahead in the FA Trophy semi-final against Solihull Moors. And we lead by a 1-0 against a team in the league above us for what is the umpteenth time this season. Lovely stuff. Just I'm talking about the players we've got who are considered to be the best players in this league. One of them goes and scores. We need to try and get this boy back next season, I think. We're not going to get him back on a permanent transfer. it would be a loan, but we have to because he's been sensational. If we don't get him, the other wingers we've got have been just as good, but he has been sensational. And he's been a real big game player. Right, it's floated in. Lennon lurking in and around the 6-yard box there, but Blackman comes out and gets the save. Is that Jamal Blackman? Is that the Blackman who used to play for Chelsea? I need to have a double check of that. I don't know. I mean, I know he never really amounted to a Premier League player, but if that is him, that's kind of insane that they've got someone who came through a player that I know from a Premier League team, even if he didn't play for them, if that makes sense. It's still a little bit nuts to me. Right, Fletcher brings the ball down here. Out wide to Ben El Mahani. Into Taylor. Taylor has signed a new contract for the next season. It's a bit of a gamble because of his age, but he's been that good. I couldn't not do it. And I feel like it'll be the last contract of his career. I have asked if he wants to do a coaching course, and we'll see whether he wants to be a coach who follows us through our journey in football management in the game. I don't know whether we'll get lucky and that will happen, but we're going to try and see whether it will. And after a shaky start, we have turned things around, but it is only the 1-0. And while it's 1-0, there's always a chance it could flip. I don't want it to flip. I'd rather win the game. But we have dominated them in this first half after that shaky start, and we will go in at half-time 1 goal to the good in the semi-final. We just need to keep that going. Right. El Mahani has not done very well. We'll give him a bit of a lecture. Matt Dolan as well. He will be leaving at the end of the season. I mean, a lot of these players... the problem we've got with trying to re-sign a few of these players is they're all worried that we're not going to be able to match their aspirations for their contracts. And I don't really get it because a lot of them are on £400 or £500 and we could afford to give some of them at least £1,000 a week. So it's a little bit baffling to me that we're having that as an issue. Like, I've tried to re-sign Ledger. He doesn't want to negotiate. I've tried to re-sign... I don't know if it was Beals. It might have been Beals, but he doesn't want to negotiate either. So what I'm hoping is when we get to the season review, I'm hoping at that point everything will kind of fall into place and we can get players signed. If not, then we've got a complete rebuild out of necessity next season, which is not ideal. Right, headed out only as far as Printington. It's whipped in and Mitchell comes and claims it. He's been a great goalkeeper. I really hope you get the opportunity to keep him rather than lose him because he's been a solid keeper for us. It will be disappointing if we have to change goalkeepers because he's had a couple of games where he's not been great, but he has been very, very good for us. Right, lovely counter-attacking football here. Fletcher now lifting it in, looking for Taylor, who heads it towards Blackman, but Blackman doesn't have to do anything. It does end up going over. It is Jamal Blackman, yes, formerly. I'm sure he's formerly of Chelsea. Sure, he was one of their, if not one of their youth players, it was one of their young goalkeepers who would just be an extra just in case. Right, it's floated in, and it's just over. I had visions of that going in there. Right, substitutions. Al Mahani's coming off for Carlos Richards. That is change number 1. And Ben Bill's not had the best of games, so we're going to move McGinley in, bring Reece Staunton on. It's the standard change that you guys know that I like to make. We'll go with that, and we'll see whether we can push on and get another one. I'm going to demand more from the boys. We've been the better team here. But it worries me that we're only 1-0 ahead. But then we are 1-0 ahead against a team, again, that is the league above us. It is still a good achievement. Right, it's a goal kick from Jamal Blackman for Solihull Moors. We've let that run through there. And our defence has not dealt with it. But Stevens really with a poor shot. And it is going to be a goal kick for us as well. Nothing really happening there. Right, final substitution. I would like to take Dolan. In fact, I can take Dolan off. We'll put Fletcher into the defensive midfield spot. Dolan can come off for Ramshaw and we'll get him on for the final few minutes. Hopefully give us a bit of creativity. Well, we'll see. He's anxious. He doesn't like big games either, so it's probably a terrible decision now I think about it. But, oh well, what's done is done. Right, final few minutes. Can we see this one over the line, or will there be a late sting in the tail? We're in added time of added time. We're in a 4-minute over, but it doesn't matter. We are in a final, and I've just not... Well, I've got a little Boba Fett on the table. I don't know if you can see that. It's from The Mandalorian, and he fell off the table. I just felt the need to show you, really. Never need to work anything out. I have a good old chat with Boba Fett, just to, talk things through. A good tip, if you've got something on your desk, and you can't work out a problem, have a chat to it. Doesn't answer you, but you can usually, when sometimes you say something out loud, you can work out what the problem is. It's kind of that kind of thing. Why I'm telling you this, I don't know. We're going to go through and confirm that we are through to the final. Excellent work from us. Again, yet another team in the league above us. It shows that we are going to compete next season if we keep the nucleus of this squad. And if we don't, hopefully we can do well. Apparently Glenn doesn't have any interest in undertaking a course, so that's absolutely fine. We want to keep his history after retirement. We want to make sure that we keep a track on him and what he does. We get 15k as well as a result. Still got a good balance of money in the club, which is great to see. That's it. And we're going to be playing Scarborough Athletic. Just a reminder with Scarborough Athletic, we have played them obviously twice this season. A draw in the FA Cup. In fact, we played them more than twice in that case. Draw in the FA Cup twice. Because they're in our league as well. So we drew against them twice. Drew against them 3 times in the first half of the season. And then we did eventually beat them in January 4-1. So our record, we've played them 4 times already. Our draw is 3 draws and a win. We should be able to win that. That will be the final game of the season. So what we'll do is, we've already won the league. We'll kind of... I've just seen the gap. Have you seen the gap between the games? So we've got like a couple of weeks off. Okay, we'll get a friendly or 2 in there. That'll be fine. We'll bin off the final 3 games. You don't need to see those. We'll come back for a cup final special before we go into the season review for season 2 of this save. That feels like a good plan to me. But that is that. League is won. We're into the FA Cup. The FA Trophy final, which was the FA Cup final. And we have a chance of winning a double in our very first season as a manager. I think that's a roaring success. Even before we played the final, I think. Fingers crossed, we can go one step further. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, again, do not forget to leave a big like on there for me. And don't forget to subscribe. It is completely free to do so. And you'll make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I will see you next time. Cheers.